Alright, welcome back to the second round of the World Cup. The first game was a rather shameful loss by VP Track by turn 7. So I will have to try and get back on track with this second game, and it's against hang on, let me double check that. Against Arek Sitkowski. And I've prepared a little message to save a few seconds of time. So I can just copy paste that into the chat so he knows. Okay, I'm the US, much my preferred side. So I normally only do the setup for Marshall if I also have defectors, or if I happen to have some of the bad red cards. But with Marshall in hand, this is kind of tempting. Since I also have Europe. And he doesn't have them, doesn't choose them. I get away with it. How lovely. So I suspect... Oh, he did have socialists. That's worrying. So I need to escape from Israel. The question is, do I then also... I mean, he might have the scoring. Let's just grab that. And let's go here. I'll try and hold decol. Space Fidel. Or the Korean War. Yeah, probably Korean War, actually. Fairly problematic hand. Fairly problematic. Because everything I do, apart from Comic-Con, kind of messes with me in some way. So I might get to spacing quickly. I mean, Vietnam, obviously, in the last action round is usually fine. I'm going to have to give him a Fidel. I might have to give him Korean War as well. Okay, so I smell Middle East scoring here. Let's space. Korean or Fidel? Fidel, think. Well, Fidel does trigger. But if I am spacing Korean War, I want to take Korea first. Okay, so let's do that then. Hmm, crap. Right, time to space myself. There we go. I have to get into, or I can, yeah. I have to coup with something, but cooing with Vietnam is okay if I take Thailand first. But that's risky. Then he might coup. That would be bad. So ideally I should probably coup first, but then I can only spend 2 on Thailand. Then if he uses the China card, I get the coup, unless I headline dark. Guess. Let's coup now. So I don't have to do it in my last action round. Okay, not bad. You can counter coup, of course. Oh, I would have liked to spend more on France there, but hope we'll have to hope that it was enough. Okay, at DEFCON 3. Fair enough. Okay, this is very problematic because Asia is quickly going really horrible, but that gives me an opportunity to do this, although obviously that just gives him a coup target. But he's got a few coup targets now. That also triggers Asia Dom. That is unfortunate. I didn't think of that, but I feel like I kind of needed to exploit that. CIA gets to stay in the deck. I have no headline. I really have no headline. If I don't have a headline, then maybe CIA is still a good headline. Saves me a coup, and I have time to offset Asia Dom. So let's go with that. Of course, I can only do that if I give him the coup, which would be bad. Oh, okay. Wow, there's a lot of ops. A lot of ops. And I need to hold Suez. De Gaulle is a problem, but I can defend against it. Use Japan. He doesn't have the Asia scoring at least, and then containment in the last action round. So I have to hold Suez, and I can play it with... No, I want to hold on to decol here. So I could space Suez in AR6. Yeah. Okay. Middle East scoring. It gives me a point if I put one into Libya, but that's all it does. And then he can go on and coup places, so I think I'd rather do the coup. And if I were to coup... I mean, Egypt still gets domination. But I have to lower DEFCON. This is at least remotely meaningful. So I'll hold on to Indo-Pakistani for as long as I can. I think it's probably a good idea to just take that, even though it just got scored. Yeah, let's do that. Nice to have at least one battleground. I could try a realign party with NATO in Chile. Might be worth a shot, but also I kind of need those ops. So there's another question. Would you space decol here and use UN on Suez in order to get more things done? Kind of like the idea of getting rid of Suez as well. So no, I think I'd rather hold on to decol, especially now that I got into Angola and he's not even in Africa. That could be good. And he doesn't have access to Algeria. Although, of course, he can play De Gaulle. I've got Truman, so I can kick him out of France. Alright, so no realign South America. I think I'll actually... I think it's preferable to just get rid of this. Didn't have special, no. Played before? No, we not. He hasn't played that many games. Fuck! It's fucking unbelievable that I. Oh man! There's something wrong with my brain and blockade. I keep forgetting it, and normally it's not even okay normally, but when you have just played CIA and I've seen it and I've written it down, fuck right off. Well, that means I'm spacing decol. Alright, streaming my stupidity for the whole world to see. And, he still has a lot of ops left. So, I need all my cards, so that means we're spacing this. Could have played it with you. No, I could not. Well, I get Japan. And he is messing with me in South Korea. Which he doesn't know that I cannot counter, but he might suspect it. Let's just fight a... Oh no, he's got NTB. So he is fine with that. I could break it AR6 perhaps. Let's try and... I'm hesitant to just walk in here and give him a coup target, although we know Duck is coming. Should protect here as well. Should probably work on a country count in Asia, but it's going to be very difficult to challenge him. I feel like I need to protect Panama a little bit. I should have gone to UK as well, or one of the others. No, UK definitely. Did we see special in the first turn? No, so it's coming up. So we decided to go for influence there, which means I can use Truman in... And then this will be for my Millops, to get more Millops, which I suppose it's sort of worth it. And he's got NTB in containment now, so he's holding NTB probably. The Pakistani full Millops, which lets him walk into Asia, but I can't get there anyway. No, he's holding containment, okay. Working on his Middle East Don. I get to do this. Hey! VPs. Okay, so he's holding containment. And he has drawn dark. And I think 5-year plan. And obviously Asia scoring. Seen both D-Style and D-Col. RSP as well. That is unfortunate, but I have defectors. I get D-Col again. That's good. This is not a bad hand. Oh, sorry, I have 5-year plan. My bad. Well, I can come up with 4 cards. There might be one more. Okay, so headline here. He's got quite a lot of bad cards in his hand, and he is likely to headline. I mean, he could headline. Oh, he's likely to headline RSP. Or Asia. He could headline something else and just assume that I'll headline defectors because he knows I have it. Does he? He does, right? Yeah, yeah, definitely. So, mind games, mind games. I'd hate to headline defectors and then he headlines duck or something. That would be awful. But that will at least stop him from headlining RSP, and then it will be worse if he plays it in the round, then it'll be worse. I'm quite tempted to headline 5-year plan, because that can draw containment, it can draw duck, it can draw RSP if he doesn't headline it. So that is the question. Do you headline defectors when it's obvious? No, I think I'll go with this. Alright. Alright. Okay. That is not bad. That is not bad. Even though I would have preferred RSP, I think. But this stops his headline. I get a bunch of VPs. Wow. Yes, indeed. Okay, that sets me up to be able to take the rather damaging scorings that are bound to come sooner or later here. Or sooner rather than later, probably, with Asia. I can soak that now. Much more easily. So, this goes to space. Because I'm holding UN then. Might not be so bad. Warsaw, that was reshuffled. He's going in for the... I suppose I could start fighting him for the country count here, because it's kind of... I might even not space that. I might use UN for D-Col. I mean, it's not actually... Can I... How much does he have? He's got 6, I've got 2. Can I get 4? No, obviously not. But almost. I could break something, but I can't really follow it up. And he's got a lot of ops. He hasn't got that much. He's got RSP and possibly other things. If I get the China card out for the trouble, that might be worth it. Let's maybe try and break North Korea and see what... Oh no, he doesn't even change domination. But he could... Oh, he's not even close. He could... And he kind of has to defend that, right? But even if I take it, it still doesn't stop domination. But it's good for the future. I don't know. I think maybe this is just a waste of ops. It would be good to get these countries for Southeast Asia scoring, but I think I should probably set up for the next stage. Let's let's get ahead on the space race a bit. Certainly going for all the points there. And I can see why you would want to do that when you have a lot of ops. 8 points is a lot of points. Let's go ahead and space this. There we go, headline peak. Yep. Nobody's getting any mill-ops, most likely. I need to defend Italy against Brush. Might not be the top priority at the moment, but it is a priority. Hey, I can space again. Well, I don't have anything to space. Ah, there we go. Milops for him. Too bad. Now let's spread out. Actually, no. Let's Southeast Asia needs to look a little bit better, I feel. I was briefly considering eventing NATO to get the two VPs there, but nah, it cannot possibly be worth it. Maybe I should have tried a Columbia walk to get the Milops. Okay, that's too bad. I should have known about containment, or I did know about containment. Um, should have saved NORAD, so I got 4 ops out of that. I can still play in UN, but I... Actually, maybe it's better to play UN. What am I worried about? It's nice to hold a 4 op. Is it worth doing this now? I'm usually not a fan of the Columbia Walk as an AR-7 move. It's too easy to counter, and then he also gets access to these two, which he doesn't have at the moment. This one might be better, actually. Okay, I like this hand. Very much, indeed. If I play Junta, then I get to coup, and I get to get into South America, which is important. Then he gets Cameroon, but that has to be fine. Then I get Colonia. Yeah. All good, all good. This goes to space, even though he has it, but it's nice to be there. How I learned could be a Millop thing at the end would be quite nice. Get a chance. Ask Not is a hold card. Alright, yeah, that's good. 4 VPs. Cannot stop you. Hmm. No, I can't space that. Crap. Then he will get Millops. In fact, I don't even have a space card. Yeah, no, there's not that many of the red cards that you really want to space. But Decol is one, and Korean War certainly is also one. About getting too far in the space race as the US when you don't have to. But I feel like it's usually worth it anyway. Certainly now when the Korean War is still fairly unlikely. I'm more worried about the Milops, actually. Okay, so he didn't coup Cameroon. So I can go here. There comes the coup, here comes this. I have access to Algeria anyway. Yeah, might as well go here. Maybe someday in the future start working on Asia. If he doesn't get more Milops, I think it still might be worth to do how I learned. Or is it? It depends a bit on Africa. If I have control in Africa, then I don't really feel like giving him DEFCON 5. We'll see. But at least, yeah. Then I have to coup myself, because then I'd rather hold on to how I learned. But I want to hold... Oh, there goes Africa. Okay. I want to hold Kennedy, so I can't do that. Maybe it's worth a few points now that he scored Africa. It might still be cool. Should we... Definitely want to take this. I'm actually not that far on country count, far behind now on country count in Asia. If I take Taiwan, he takes Afghanistan. I'm still only one behind, right? Yeah. And right now Thailand is actually fairly susceptible to brush war. Why would you break and go one in Afghanistan? But I think I've changed my mind about how I learned. I don't need it. I'm going to go for a normal coup with probably with Portuguese. But I want to have... Is it worth taking Taiwan just to lower the risk of Korean War? When he already has it. Well, I probably want to take Taiwan anyway for the country count. But also, if I want to coup something, I should probably coup in Central rather than here. I feel like that makes sense because we might be seeing a Muslim revolution soon, and Arabs really has been played. Alright, the Pope. Don't mind if I do. And here comes the coup in. Okay, okay. Good hand. Sorry. Bad. No, good. Grains is always the headline, isn't it? I think so. But I get to see what he does. And then I can play arms race. Then voice might help me in South America. And Usuri. I'd rather use the effect there of Usuri. The to place ops, to place influence would be lovely. I can somehow make him play the China card. Would be nice. Alright, that makes it rather tempting to mess with the Middle East. Which I cannot really do with the card, but voice can do it. It's 4 points, but I'd rather steal the coup, to be honest. Also for arms race reasons. Yeah, I think so. Okay, well, not a huge fan, but I will definitely have to do that, to play it, and probably coup Angola with it. Or I could coup Argentina and hope for a good roll, but then I still don't have domination there. No, I think nothing is going to happen in South America unless he has ABM, which is definitely possible. Brush War is coming as well. That could affect South America. So I should probably dump South America as soon as possible. Even voice doesn't really do that much. It's better, I think, to use voice in Asia, maybe in AR7. But we've seen most of the horrible blue cards. Puppets still left. This goes to space. Alright, Truman. The one, Milop. Okay, he's okay there. And Truman does nothing. If he had ABM, I think he would have played that rather than let's play this while I can. And then if he has central, then so be it. But why did he coup with Truman and not something stronger to get his Milops? China! How lovely. Though that does worry me. That was exactly what I didn't want to happen. But he didn't play a big 4-op. He's probably got cultural. But this is bad. And I really don't want to play Muslim, and I really want a space. Is it worth just triggering Yusuri? It could be that he's got Nixon as well. But the Yusuri effect is really nice here. An AR7. I could use a voice and save Yusuri, but then he's taking back the China card possibly with cultural. That could be it. If I don't get to use Yusuri now, then I can use voice instead, which sort of has the same effect, kind of, almost. Let's hope he doesn't have too many strong cards left, but we haven't seen We Will Bury You, we haven't seen Flower Power, so there's definitely a few 4-ops out there. That's not one of them. Okay, well, in that case, I think it's time for a premature voice, probably. He's giving me... Brazil doesn't really make sense. Should probably open up Thailand instead. That should worry him a bit more. Yep. A lot of trouble for a neutral South America there. It was almost as if he knew I had it. Then again, most other places are scored. But I don't get to do voice. Sorry, I don't get to do voice. So he gained that. Shuttle was nice. If I can get Asia to score before Middle East, that would be awesome. Ah, Lone Gunman, okay. Alright. I think it's time for Willy Brandt. So he probably doesn't have cultural. Or he chose to do that instead. He certainly didn't have Nixon. I've got Central. I'm worried about a coup in Central, though. Can't space liberation. I can hold it. I would rather. We can see if he coups in Central, but I'd rather hold Kennedy again. Then I have to play liberation, which is not great. But everything else is kind of fine. Because I'd like to get rid of a bad scoring card. With Kennedy. And I also don't feel like this hand is bad enough to warrant a Kennedy. It might even be worth playing the China card, hold Liberation and Kennedy, and then take it back with Nixon. Brush Wall, where is that going? Panama? And then he could coup the other one, Mexico. That is pretty bad. Anything I can do with the OAS to stop that? Not really. I can make it less likely. I can I can go OAS into Guatemala and Colombia. What other targets does he have? Something here in South America, Algeria. Yeah, one of these two. They're all bad targets. Panama is the obvious one, or Libya. Huh. I mean, OAS is not as good if the US has it anyway, so I might try and be a bit cheeky and set up. Oh no, he gets to go first, of course. My bad. Back to square one. What then? I can use OAS to upset whichever one he goes to, and then he has to coup that, or I get it back. That's probably a better plan. Yep. We still have some big 4-ops coming, red 4-ops. We've got lone gunman coming. Alright, so that makes me want to maybe discard Central anyway. After all, seeing as I also have Liberation, that would save the whole China card thing. Let's do that then. Don't strictly have to give him a point. Although it's almost... Nixon gets to stay if he plays cultural. Not necessarily a much better hand, but slightly. At least. And there's plenty of fun things I can salt for. As long as I make sure I have the mill ops. We've got grains. Probably grains. Just brush wall. Take back Panama. But grains is always best, isn't it? Dump Southeast Asia quickly. Ah, we did see Lone Gunman, he had it. But that's still out there. Hmm. I need to be able to coup. But let's dump this before something horrible happens. And then I need to coup probably with Olympic. But salt is still... But if I grab grains now, I need to use it this turn to make sure it reshuffles. So I'll coup... Actually, I don't have to coup first. I can coup after salt. With grains. Ugh. Well, it was coming. Okay, now I feel like I have to go into Botswana. Maybe I should have salted now. He could have tried to realign Angola, but I have 5 there, so it might have failed, and then now I lost a bit of tempo. Still feel like salt is a plan, though. He had a strong hand this turn. Hopefully there isn't that much left. Yes, there is. Mr. Big Spender. Well, I'm not gonna be able to do anything against that. Let's salt for grains. What is left of the blue? Alliance would be pretty bad, actually, to draw. I'd rather it... Well, he's going to play it if I don't draw it, so... But yeah, I get those points anyway, kind of. Hmm. 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 Almost tempted to leave him in the deck, actually, since he won't really do much right now anyway, and just coup Nigeria with him. Ugh! Hmm. Just 1 point for Alliance. Board state is beginning to look a lot like Christmas. By which I don't mean that it's good, but that it's very red. Could do a Panama Canal AR7, I guess. I think we're gonna have this space because we want to do that anyway. There goes that. Then the question is, do I want to headline Nixon next turn, or do I want to... I really should coup now, ideally. With Allende, probably. But this is very bad if he gets to score that. But I could headline. Then oh! Yeah, that was not good. And I lose a point from Milops. And I get grains again, third time in a row. Third time in 2 turns. Which is fortunate. I do need it. And I should be able to figure out what he has. He did play cultural. Anything blue and horrible that we haven't seen yet? Omit. He's got flower power. I played that, didn't he? He played everything last turn. This is a beautiful hand. Very nice. For him, we saw one small step. I discarded that. Oh, Quag, naturally. That was known. So, grains. Definitely. Okay. Not the best card ever, but we'll have to give it a try. Oh, you can just counter coup. This sucks so much. Alright. Good roll at least. Oh, it was a 3. Man. Oh, man. That was my only trap card as well. And I've got Middle East scoring. Fuck, fuckly, fuck, fuck. Did I know about Missile Envy? I don't think I did. We have seen it, right? Yes, I saw it. Well, I'm out at least. But this board state is not looking good. I have a slight lead, so not for long. All the ops. Wow. Okay. Oh, wait, no. I have nothing. And I have to score the Middle East before Asia as well. Which is what I wanted to avoid. Let's hold on to it, though. I mean, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have Asia, but it's possible. Puppets is useless. And he just keeps pouring ops into this world. I need to take that, so let's go. Although maybe Puppets is slightly better than Special. But he might just have NATO as well. Who knows? I should know, if I had kept track. Alright, that was reshuffled, I think. We're getting towards near the end of this ops war, I feel. Both sides. Does he not have anything horrible that he has to play? Like, when was the last time he had a bad blue card? Nuclear subs, if you can count that. But it actually helped him. Omit? Oh no, he had played Omit, so yeah, I don't know, he has that. Oh! Fuck! I have to grab that, I feel like, when I have the time. I don't know what happened to this game. I felt fairly confident for a long time, and now it's just going right down the toilet. But it was just like 2 turns where he had so many ops and so many playable cards, and I did not have a single 4. I did get grains 3 times, but I didn't draw much good with it. But if I had not suspect, the situation would have looked even worse. I do feel like I have to hold on to them at least until AR7. So let's take back the China card now. Have we seen Cuban? Ah, oh, for fuck's sake. I was just about to take it. We did see Cuban. Do you have it? It's now 8-6, so yeah. I can't do anything about it. I have to score this. I I'm starting to feel like Defcon is my only hope here. Now I have the China card and he can never take it back. Lone Gunman is still in the deck though. Oh, Camp David, that was a known card. But he didn't have the scoring. But it is coming up. So I guess we'll just have to play Kitchen. Not sure where though. That would protect Mexico. Some good cards, finally. Usuri is nice. That should give me the coup. Or should I play... Actually, Europe Victory is also an option here. But we need to make sure that... I still get to see his headline. Aldrich, interesting, okay. So what would he discard here? He would probably either East European or Usuri. But Duck puts us below War Games territory. And I can space chair to get some more points. No, to be able to discard. Usuri is pretty bad. So both Usuri and Eastern European do kind of the same things. And Europe hasn't been scored either. Duck gives me VPs, which is what I really, really need. I might be able to squeeze some VPs out with Nixon if I really have to, but I feel like Duck is the best headline here. And then he can steal either Usuri or East European or Red Scare Purge. But it's very important to... I mean, he might have Asia scoring in War Games and then it's all over, but at least here I have a fighting chance. A lot of good cards to choose from. Africa is also out there. Could give him some points. If I were him here, I think I would go with East European, because Europe is one of my only few ways I can win. And if the game just keeps going, then he will win. So Usuri is kind of manageable. for him. So I think I would go with East European. We might be worried about Purge as well, but I'm not likely to play it mid-turn. Of course, he can protect. If he takes away East European, then he can protect against Usuri fairly well. Just overprotect Asia. He went with East European, makes sense, and then a horrible event, which doesn't really stop me from just taking that back. Do I have to be able to get a point? Maybe. That's probably my coup card, though. Um, I don't know if that's a bit of a waste. I'm focusing on Asia now because of Usuri. But when you have to think too closely about what to do with your last ops, then you should probably have played the lower op card. But East European would have been devastating. Question is what to do with Central. Because if I play it now, then we could have war games. And that's 4 points, puts him on 9, and then Nixon doesn't really help. Come on. Yeah, then Nixon doesn't help, but also that would mean I kind of need Iron Lady. I could just wait with if I overprotect Mexico, because now he must be running out of cards events that affect Central America now. So I could hold it if I overprotect it and then wait until the last turn if he has war games. He should. Ah, oh, for fuck's sake! Well, okay. That would have been GG if he had done that. Again, he should be running out of cards that affect Central. So if I hold it until the last turn, maybe overprotected one more, then I should be okay to score it in AR7. Although I don't feel happy about him knowing that I have to score a card in AR7, but and also I kind of like to do Yasuri in AR7. He should have at least one bad card so that he has to play war games before AR7. Again, a very good app so far. It just never ends. I have to coup, which means I have to, well, should I just forget about, so here's what I can do. I can use China and then take it back. That stops, that steals 2 VPs from me, which I might need to stop war games. But then at the same time, if I score central, he wins by war games anyway. Yusuri is a way for me to change the map. I've got 2 more turns to change the board state to final scoring. And I feel like if I don't use Yusuri now, then Asia is going to stay like this for the rest of the game. He's got Africa Dom anyway. Maybe I don't have to care too much about Algeria, but then again, that's my only chance to realign South Africa at some point and get Asia Dom back. Africa Dom back. And I need this to coup. And queuing in Central doesn't do anything. I really cannot not coup. I feel like I have to give up Algeria. If I play the China card and then use Nixon to take the China card, then I also lose a round from that. And I don't really have a card that I don't want to play. I'd rather take 2 VPs. The difference is that the China card would solve this problem that Decol created. But I think I just have to accept that I can't do that. So let's coup in Guatemala. Not because it matters, but because I feel like it. Please have a bad card. Please have a bad card. That's a point. That might be quite useful. Yes. Let's take 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let's take 2 more points. I mean, I feel like I'm maybe worrying a bit too much about war games. But I've got to keep the game alive. For DEF CON, possibly for Europe. I mean, Chernobyl, Teardown could help me. And Middle East is difficult to swing, but it's not that many points. Africa could swing. South America is one stab country, one battleground away from swinging, so I could swing something. This puts me at 6 now, so it is safe. Thanks to defectors. Now he has to do something to mess with me so that I feel distracted from playing Yusuri. Could break West Germany, that's probably what I would have done here. Should overprotect that. Alright, difficult choice. But I feel like it's DEFCON or Europe, most likely. If I can get Europe scoring off, but then again, he's got 2 scorings coming up that are quite big. What is he holding? Ah, Formosan, interesting. You would be a little bit worried about that. At least there's one less point. Then we'll go with this, and I'll just break these 2, I think. Okay. I still get to see his headline. That has helped me a lot. So I could headline 5-year plan here. Muslim, I think, is in the discard. Yes. So that's just a good ops card. Socialist goes to space, probably. I have Lone Gunman, but if I can discard it. So that's fine. I've got Europe. Very good. The question is, do I need to get VPs in the headline? Alright, so he's worried about Europe. That makes sense. Then I could play 5-year plan here. I'm just worried that... No, he doesn't get any VPs here, so then he will have to coup. Let's see what we can get. Ugh! Alright, but it might help him. It might help if he had a bad card that he had to deal with. Like tear down. And it's mainly for the hand size. ABM could have been good. I could have gone... But then he would have could have realigned Asia if I had gone for influence. Could have gone for a coup in Pakistan, I guess. Maybe I should have done that. But I felt like I had to go for sort of a high variance thing with a 5-year plan. Could have been really, really good. Or it might have been, because I discarded a card, so if he has... I mean, there's plenty of DEFCON cards left. We've got Star Wars, we've got Cal, we've got Tear Down. He's not worried about it at all. Oh, man. Europe can probably wait. I should grab... countries first. Actually, Socialist is an empty round. So maybe I should space Pershing instead, because it's a VP. But that's not important right now. What is important right now is Asia. Can't really do much about Asia, I feel. Unless I use the China card and that's my DEFCON win. Here are some VPs that could help. ABM could be used in Africa, but I think probably South America has to be prioritized. He's now up 3 here, so it's not easy. But it has been scored, so Africa is probably more important. Let's get some points while we can. Before something happens. But he's clearly not worried about DEFCON. "31 cards left, so we might never see those cards." Well, he clearly doesn't have Africa because he would have scored that before that. Yes, thank you. Lovely stuff. We need to deal with this, so might as well be now. But now Europe control is not happening, so DEFCON is my only hope. And I do need overprotection. Special has been played. Decall has been played. I don't really need overprotection. Maybe from Reformer, but that's not so bad. I feel like I was thinking if I should have tried to get 3 points out of arms race somehow, but I would have to coup somewhere in Asia, in Africa, or here, and it wouldn't really done it. It's still quite likely that he would just have taken the last mill up there as well. I can get 1 point from it, which might be worth it, but probably not. He's just overprotecting like crazy now, because that's what you need to do. But now I can get Africa Dom, which I probably should try and get. And then play Brezhnev, overprotect West Germany perhaps, take Egypt. Maybe coup some of these places. Not right now, but at some point. Is voice out in the deck still? Yes, it is. Then, oh, hang on. Yes, it is, yeah. I get that. That could really help. No, I should probably go for non-battlegrounds. Ah, typical. Alright, final turn. I get Asia. Can I get VPs? Well, I can space. And Evil Empire. I can't get enough VPs, can I? 5, 6. Well, if I succeed in space, how far can I get? 2 from this, 1 from this, and we're on 6, and then that would bring us to 8. That would be War Games. But it's very unlikely. He could easily have... Actually, you know, he cannot have a scoring card. He could have OPEC, which is still available. Yes. And I still get Headline Peak. That has been a luxury. Could he have something that gives me VPs? Oh, that's bad. But no terrorism, nothing to mess with DEFCON, so all I can hope for is that he has something in his hand that is bad. Star Wars, tear down. Anything. So now, what I need to figure out is if I have to... He could have Africa scoring, which would be great if he had to play. So I should probably keep doing this. But then I need to space first. And it's 1 in 3. And then I win. Maybe. Unless he has OPEC. Or anything else left? U2 could still be available. Or Willy Brandt. No, Willy Brandt has been played, I think. And U2 is still out there. Yeah. But Willy Brandt has been played. Or a wall. He could have a wall. Well, I need the Millops. No, 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 oh, man! Oh, I forgot about that! Fuck. Oh! I kind of hope I missed this space roll now, because otherwise I would have won. I forgot how the draw works in this tournament. It's different in different tournaments, which is a bit irritating. There's one rule for Grand Slams, and then there's one rule for something else. Yeah, he's gonna keep doing that, so fuck it. Oh! Well, if he has to score Africa, I still get a point. Oh, I can still get a point from Evil Empire. Right. Don't know what I was shouting about just there. Uh, um, Do you have a point, my friend? Do you have a point? Oh yeah, finished the space race. I think at least half of the games where I've finished the space race, I've also lost the game. So it's not always a good thing. And I even once lost the game because I finished the space race. You do not have a point! I am so sorry, my friend. This is GG. Ooh, wow. Hmm. So, in fact, it could have looked like I intentionally kind of tried to get the Africa Dom back because I could afford one coup. And technically, it was still a net gain of 1 VP. But that was not, as everyone who has watched this can clearly tell, that was not the plan. But it worked out in the end. And I don't know. I feel like I can be fairly pleased with. I mean, the fact that he had Star Wars, so that caused a problem for him. He had to space it. He couldn't play it with UN. Um, hang on, did I? No, that was last turn. That was last turn. But yeah, the fact that I just about stayed alive long enough. I mean, you should never give up in Twilight Struggle. But I certainly felt like DEFCON was my only option because I really thought that he would get one of the scorings. Any of the scorings would have done it. Um, before I managed to stop me from winning by war games, which I didn't really think was an option. But it turns out it was. And I just sort of stumbled across the finish line there, almost making a fool of myself. Alright, that's a win, barely. And I'm 1-1, 1 win, 1 loss. So I'll see you for the next game. Thanks for watching.